Wait a minute here, Nigel. Tommaso Ciampa has made his way down to ringside here at Full Sail.
I feel like I should give you an explanation.
Champa and Gargano were friends of 7 years, former NXT Tag Team Champions. It was truly a Cinderella story for DIY, and Champa just threw it all away.
DIY was supposed to be special. It was you and us living our dream together. Johnny and I would talk night after night about how we were searching for our moment.
DIY wants their moment. When TakeOver Chicago is done, we're going to be sitting there, top of a ladder, 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Together.
One way or another, we'll have our moment. TakeOver Chicago. I sustained an injury. I knew I was about to go away for a long time. For my best friend, I put it all aside, and I fought. That's what DIY has been about since day one.
Gargano saved him.
TakeOver Chicago was supposed to be our moment. At the end of the night, I looked across at my best friend, my brother. I looked out at you people, and I realized, just like you were about to replace me just like that, Johnny Gargano was gonna do the same damn thing. TakeOver Chicago is my moment. Newsflash, I'm not a damn afterthought! And if I was gonna go away for a long, long time, Johnny Wrestling was gonna go away.
That's your friend. Oh my God.
For a long, long time. TakeOver Chicago is my moment.
Hello and welcome to NXT, and as you just saw, some emotional moments between former tag team partners, former best friends, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
I've been let down by my friends before, and but nothing to the extent of what Johnny Gargano went through. I can only imagine what his mind is going through right now.
Well, Johnny Gargano is here tonight, and speaking of emotional, what an opportunity it was for Roderick Strong, vying to become NXT champion. Came very close to usurping Bobby Roode, but in the end, it wasn't to be.
A tough night for the Strong family as his fiance and mother made their way back from ringside to continue their support for Roddy. No doubt the desire and passion within Roderick Strong to be the best will propel him towards another NXT championship opportunity in the future. But when it comes to the future of the NXT championship, things will remain glorious for the time being as Bobby Roode continues as the face of NXT. Bobby Roode is here at Full Sail, and we hope to hear more in regards to his plans later tonight.
And for the third consecutive week, an NXT championship is up for grabs. Paul Ellering's Colossal Authors of Pain will defend the NXT Tag Team titles against the huge Heavy Machinery. That's this week's massive main event. But right now, we kick things off with the bellicose Aleister Black.
contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Amsterdam, Holland, weighing in at 205 pounds, Aleister Black!
One of the most feared competitors on the NXT roster. This guy's got a severe dark side and a mean streak.
Yeah, Dutch Destroyer, an extreme martial artist, Nigel.
Yeah, trained by MMA trainer Bob Schreiber in kickboxing. Familiar with Pencak Silat as well, the Indonesian martial arts. Very dangerous individual.
And Bob Schreiber wasn't exactly known for playing by the rules all the time. The ominous presence of Aleister Black. Debuted in NXT TakeOver Orlando, defeating Andrade Cien Almas. And has cut a swath of destruction through the NXT roster ever since.
And now, making his NXT debut,
Yes! It's about time! Bobby Fish is here in NXT!
Wow. Wow, Bobby Fish.
from Saratoga Springs, New York, weighing in at 197 pounds, Bobby Fish!
Well-respected, well-traveled veteran, and a champion everywhere he has competed, including in Japan. Bobby Fish debuts in NXT, and you talk about a baptism by conflagration. He has to face Aleister Black.
Talking about veteran, he's got 15 plus years in the game, like you said. New Japan, been all over, holds 10 championships, including 3 titles and 1 world title.
Fish has talent out the wahoo, trains extensively in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. But if it comes down to striking, I think with his training, Black has got to have the advantage.
Bobby Fish, a decorated tag team practitioner, but here in NXT looking for single success against Aleister Black. And a feeling out process early on. Both of them have done their homework, and you mentioned it, Nigel, really both of them looking for an opening when it comes to the striking aspect of this matchup. Arm wringer by Black, and brings Fish down to one knee with that spinning wrist lock. Beautiful counter by Roderick Strong, but Aleister Black says, you can do it, I can do it too.
Into an armbar. Fish would do well to take this into grappling submission territory.
Nice leapfrog by Bobby Fish, and the athleticism of Aleister Black.
I think that little maneuver just caught Bobby Fish by surprise.
A new breed of sports entertainers, with both of them with extensive martial arts backgrounds. Look at the kick up by Black and the roundhouse kick to the breadbasket.
Power that strike just took Fish off his feet.
Fish thinking about it. Cause for concern, perhaps. Does he change his strategy here?
The ability to adapt and make adjustments is paramount in order to be successful.
Agreed. It's a sign of a true veteran.
Nice block by Bobby Fish. Inside low kick, attacking the left leg of Aleister Black.
A nice teep, pushes him off to the corner, to the ropes. He doesn't rush in. That's a sign of experience. He knows how dangerous Black is. Good catch.
Fish catches that kick. There's some Muay Thai knee, spinning back fist, and lightning quick offense from Aleister Black. Going from 0 to 100 real quick, and wow! Springboard backflip. Back into that cross-legged position.
Black getting centered, finding that true path.
Forearm to the side of the face of Bobby Fish. Oh, nice counter in the air. The knee. Let's see. Sleeper. Of course, Bobby Fish on the apron on the outside needed to break that hold, beating the referee's count of 5.
That's how you slow down the competitor and take away his air supply.
Nice leg sweep by Bobby Fish. So this matchup continues to percolate. The mind games and the action continues.
On July 24th, interact, engage, and be a part of this once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's the WWE Performance Center All Access. Go behind the scenes and meet your favorite superstars.
You call me nothing except glorious.
Cut a promo.
You're not cocky if you back it up.
Make an entrance, and so much more.
I don't think I'm ever gonna forget this as long as I live.
The WWE Performance Center All Access. Tickets are available.
Product not yet rated.
Edition and play 4 days early.
Oh, Bobby Fish unloading on Aleister Black here at the NXT arena. The debut of Bobby Fish in NXT. Oh, senton atomico by Fish. Come on. Crossface cover, 2 count.
Outside, inside. Fish has the advantage now. Actually had the chance to get in the ring with Japanese MMA legend Kazushi Sakuraba on his last trip over there. So
I know Sakuraba very well. New inductee into the UFC Hall of Fame. He really was Mr. Pride during the halcyon days of Pride Fighting Championships, as Bobby Fish now taking the fight to Aleister Black. And of course, Kazushi Sakuraba with a background in Puroresu.
Let's not forget, Bobby Fish was trained by the legendary Harley Race.
Another WWE Hall of Famer, and look at Bobby Fish with that inside low kick. Oh, dragon screw leg whip by Fish.
it's Smart move from Bobby Fish, taking out the strength of Aleister Black, his legs.
Yeah, you could tear the ligaments.
Could be looking for the fish hook here, the heel hook that he's been a number of opponents with.
Continues to work on the left leg of Aleister Black. Black trying to scramble, trying to find a way to avoid this barrage by Bobby Fish.
What a feather in the hat it would be for Bobby Fish as well to get a victory against Aleister Black here in his debut.
Huge.
Left ankle.
Rarely see Aleister Black in trouble. Right now, it looks like he's getting punished by Bobby Fish.
Looking for a single leg Boston. Yep. He's got it.
Fish looking for the single leg crab. And
this is why wrestlers train those neck bridges so strongly to stretch that lower back.
Countered by Black. Bobby Fish shoulders down for a count of 1.
Great call from the referee. Shoulders weren't both down straight away.
Now Black on just one leg. And back into that sleeper hold goes Bobby Fish, trying to...
Got it in the center of the ring. This could beat the man.
It's the fastest way to slow your opponent down right here.
He's trying to force Aleister Black to black out with that sleeper hold, but Black thinking quickly on his feet.
Right back to it.
Fish into the corner, but yeah, Fish again.
He's certainly wearing the man down time and time again, going for that sleeper hold.
Oh, and there's a boot to the sternum of Aleister Black, and Black blast Bobby Fish with a knee. Oh, floater into the corner. And Bobby Fish looking to take advantage. Back press, hooks a leg, and Aleister Black able to kick out. But what a debut thus far for Bobby Fish in NXT.
Great showing for Bobby Fish. Black now really knows who he's in the ring with.
Come on, Black.
Fish, a 15-year veteran of the ring wars.
Up, Black.
Oh! Black blocks that strike and nails him with a kick. Oh, and what a left roundhouse to the midsection and a right kick as well.
I think Fish woke something up in Aleister Black that he probably wishes he hadn't.
Oh! Running corner forearm. Wow! Beautiful cabrada by Aleister Black. Oh, and a leaping knee right to the face, Nigel.
Strong jumping knee underneath the jaw. Fish looks out. Well, we've seen this before. Gently, ominously picking up his opponent.
Oh, what? A spinning hook kick by Aleister Black, and that is it. The Black Mass for Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
Wow, what a hard-hitting affair between Aleister Black and Bobby Fish. And Fish may have not picked up the Duke, but what an outing. He acquitted himself well before being on the receiving end of Black Mass.
Yeah, incredible. Bobby Fish looked like he was taking Aleister Black the distance, but nonetheless, Aleister Black, AB, victorious.
There was a moment there. Fish has the advantage, and Black said, no more. This ends now. See how this went down. Black here, that jumping knee strike that left Fish prone in the center of the ring, and then gently picks up the man. And look at the precision. Black Mass, spinning heel kick, upside the jaw, and that's a 3 count. Aleister Black is a very dangerous man.
So Aleister Black spoils the NXT debut of Bobby Fish with the vicious Black Mass. Another successful outing for Aleister Black. I wish I could say the same thing for the tag team of Cassius Ohno and Hideo Itami. Last week, they were in action against SAnitY, and Itami, who has been showcasing more and more frustration as the weeks go by, citing a lack of success that he enjoyed in his native Japan. Well, he and Cassius Ohno were in tough against Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. Ohno trying to come to his partner's rescue. He was wiped out by Wolf, and then it was up to Itami to do his team's bidding. Had Wolf up for the go to sleep. The tag was made by Killian Dane, and after Wolf took a bullet for his team, Dane ran over Itami with the running low cross body, and Itami on the losing end of this tag team affair with Ohno nowhere to be found. WWE.com cameras caught up with him after last week's match.
Hideo, I'm trying to talk to you, man.
That was your fault. You know why we lost? Because of you. Be more like you.
All you've done since Chicago is blame people. It's never your fault. It's always someone else's fault. Have some accountability, man. I'm trying to get through to you. I've gone out of my way. But I'm done. I'm done. I'm about action. I'm done talking.
Some pointed comments from Cassius Ohno directed at Hideo Itami as their relationship navigates choppy waters. We're turning our attention now, though, to Mae Young Classic qualifying action. Newcomers Vanessa Bourne and Jamie Hachey will do battle to determine which superstar will join the elite class of 32 women competing this summer in the inaugural Mae Young Classic tournament.
It's Street Profits coming to you live, okay? From the PC. Everybody looking at us. They saying, Street Profits, lead us, guide us, guide us. Look at this lounge right here.
Are you supposed to be here?
Are you supposed to be here?
That's the question. You asked us, are you supposed to be here? Or you want to take the big elevator?
Oh yeah, the VIP only used by Street Profits. Only used by Street Profits. Uh-oh.
Boy, I thought you turned the alarm system off. No, I didn't. I thought you turned it off, man.
I cannot wait to see what these guys are all about. They're going to be something.
Yes, the Street Profits' new arrivals to NXT. And it was just a few weeks ago where we said hello to another new arrival, the Velveteen Dream.
Excuse me, Velveteen.
Sorry, I don't have any change.
No, it's me, Kayla Braxton.
Oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah. You look a lot, go ahead.
Well, you've garnered a lot of attention since your arrival here at NXT. You've already picked up a couple
I'm sorry. Did you think this was the appropriate setting? Are you trying to interview the Velveteen Dream right now?
Well, I interview other superstars
No,
here.
that's your problem. I'm not other superstars. I'm the Velveteen Dream. Figure something else out.
Listen to the serpent, let him have your soul. Ask for the angels, but they'll never show. Just take another drink, let the blood flow.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is a qualifying match for the Mae Young Classic Tournament. Making her way to the ring from Scottsdale, Arizona, Vanessa Bourne.
Someone who is no stranger to the spotlight, a former Phoenix Suns dancer, Arizona Cardinals cheerleader, Vanessa Bourne, vying to gain entry in the prestigious Mae Young Classic. 32 of the best female sports entertainers from around the world under one roof later this summer.
Great opportunity for everybody to show what they got. But I tell you what, I think I'm Vanessa's biggest cheerleader right now.
And her opponent from Whittier, California, Jamie Hachey.
Jamie Hachey, a former fitness competitor and high school wrestler, Nigel. In fact, she was the only female on the high school team. She was the only member of her high school squad to make it to the state championships.
Can you believe that? But she's certainly a powerful girl. You take one look at her, you can see that. Let's see how she does, though, once that bell rings.
She's really impressive. She works out 5 days a week at 6 a.m. Goodness.
If you watched the Cruiserweight Classic last summer or the UK tournament, the Mae Young Classic, very similar. Single elimination, 32 women champions from various promotions around the world will be here at Full Sail University later this summer to determine who is the best female sports entertainer.
And of course, both women similarly sized, similar height, similar strength perhaps. Got to really look for who has the grappling advantage.
And what an opportunity for these two women to not only be a part of the Mae Young Classic, but to really send their careers into the stratosphere. Sunset flip by Hachey, rolled through by Bourne. Oh! And she kicked her right in the spine. Well-placed knee by Hachey, now utilizing that strength, known for her power. Sidewalk slam by Hachey, hooks the outside leg, and Bourne able to kick out.
Just a 1 count, not even close to the 2.
And a quick reminder, if you want to get a close look at NXT's new generation and see how WWE superstars are made, all you have to do is join us at the WWE Performance Center. All access July 24th in Orlando, Florida. Tickets are on sale right now. Visit nxttickets.com for more information. Oh, double chop to the chest by Bourne. And Bourne just unloading with those shots, ducks underneath the clothesline, and she floors Hachey.
Okay.
Reversal on the Irish whip by Hachey. Oh, a left kick by Bourne, and now Bourne looking to show off her strength.
Oh, picks her up tight, drops her.
Bourne with the cover. And that's it! Vanessa Bourne! Wow!
Here's your winner, Vanessa Bourne!
And Vanessa Bourne has just propelled herself into the field of 32 for the Mae Young Classic. What a victory!
Okay, Vanessa.
Impressive victory for Bourne, no doubt about it. And what an innovative finishing maneuver. Put that leg up tight. I thought she was going for a suplex, but instead swung around and dumped her like a sack of spuds. Big things in the future, Maura.
Relative newcomer, just 2 years as a sports entertainer, but Vanessa Bourne's on her way to the Mae Young Classic. Oh man, I cannot wait for the inaugural Mae Young Classic later this summer, only on the WWE Network. But let's not forget about tonight's huge main event, physically and figuratively. One of NXT's newest tandems, Heavy Machinery, will challenge Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Which team will walk away with the gold later tonight? But coming up next, Johnny Gargano finally returns to NXT for the first time since being betrayed by his own partner at TakeOver Chicago. What will Gargano have to say about Tommaso Ciampa? And what does the future hold for Johnny Wrestling? We'll find out next.
These colors are worn with pride. They bring hope and leave legacies. These colors are earned, fought for with courage. Failure is not an option. The colors tell their story, and their story begins on the battleground.
Welcome back to Full Sail University here in Orlando, Florida. And tonight, NXT is presented by Mattel's all-new NXT action figures, available exclusively at Target.
And as you may have seen on WWE.com, a fan sent us this video after NXT went off the air last week, which captured an altercation between Drew McIntyre and the members of SAnitY.
I strongly suggest you get off my car right now.
Really? Yeah! Oh. Yeah! Jackie! Come on! Jackie! Jackie!
Come on!
Some refs out here.
Hey,
Get
guys,
some refs.
come on, that's enough.
Yeah.
Come on,
man.
Hey,
He said enough.
Killian, go. That's enough. Let's go. That's enough now. Come on, guys. It's over.
TikTok.
That's enough.
TikTok. Mr. Undefeated.
Come on, let's go.
Your time is running out.
Come on, let's go. Come on, get him out.
Bobby. Yes. I brought you here to make an announcement. Now, as the NXT champion, I'm sure you're very well aware and have been paying attention to the fact that we have the undefeated Drew McIntyre and the undefeated Killian Dane, and both of them are showing interest in your NXT championship.
Okay, Mr. Regal, just hold up right there. I see where you're going with this. You're trying to find the next opponent for the NXT champ.
Oh, yes, yes, I am. Yes.
And as a businessman, we're both very smart businessmen, and we're into
I'd like
making
to
money.
think so.
And
I really
obviously,
would,
the NXT universe pays really good money to see the champ in action.
Yes, he does.
But let's face it, Mr. Regal, you and I both know that I would beat both of those guys any day of the week. But as a businessman, let's make a little money here. Why don't we put the undefeated Drew McIntyre in the ring against the undefeated Killian Dane? See what happens.
Your interest in that match wouldn't be for the fact that you would see these two big fellows batter the granny out of each other, would it?
Mr. Regal, you know me better than that. How dare you even suggest that?
No. What I'm saying, Bobby, is I believe you are correct.
Yes.
Now, that's a match that would interest a lot of people, yourself included.
Absolutely.
And certainly me. So next week on this show, Drew McIntyre will face Killian Dane, and the winner of that match will go on to face you for your NXT championship at TakeOver Brooklyn.
I can only imagine what Johnny Gargano must be feeling now. What emotions must be going through his head.
I've missed that. I've been gone for a little bit, so trust me when I say that and this are irreplaceable, so thank you very much. Whenever I heard that music, I used to get excited because you guys were going to see something special. But you all saw what happened at TakeOver Chicago. And just like you, I never saw it coming. I never thought the guy I'd be willing to take a bullet for would be the one to pull the trigger on me. I've sat back and I've tried to rationalize the decisions that were made, and I've thought over and over again, and I've asked myself, why? And I don't get it, and I just don't understand, and I don't think I ever will. But I'm not here to dwell on the past. I'm here to move forward. I'm here to look at the future. Sometimes things happen in life you can't control, but what you can control is how you react to them. I'm standing right here. I need to get back to doing what I love to do, being in this ring in front of all of you. TakeOver Brooklyn is the biggest show of the year, and I have to be there no matter what. I need to be Johnny Gargano again. More importantly, I need to be Johnny Wrestling.
Well, I've got to be honest, guys. I don't know. There looked to be perhaps a little doubt in the mind of Johnny Gargano. Did you see it?
I don't agree with you at all, man. I see confidence. I see a new man standing in that ring right now.
I see someone who is hurt by his best friend, his longtime tag team partner, but I also see someone who's looking straight ahead of the future. Someone who is looking to dominate NXT as Johnny Wrestling. I have a question. Will Paul Ellering's Book of Dominance write a new chapter here tonight? Well, there you see the stats. Literally, the biggest main event in NXT history. We're talking over 1,000 pounds of combined mass between the ropes. You can bet that the ring has been reinforced for this one as the Authors of Pain take on heavy machinery for the NXT Tag Team Championships next.
NXT is the next generation, and the next generation has arrived.
NXT, the future is now.
We are live at Full Sail University. Over the last year, NXT has grown into a major force. NXT is taking over.
You could be looking at some future Hall of Famers compete here tonight.
How impressive and how exciting the future of WWE is.
NXT redefined the sports entertainment landscape.
The future is now.
NXT, the future is now. Available now online or wherever books are sold.
Welcome back to NXT, and somebody's always got to go. Drew McIntyre and Killian Dane are going to battle next week in a #1 contender match. Which undefeated superstar is going to move on to Brooklyn to challenge Bobby Roode for the gold? And how about this one? Two of NXT's most renowned female superstars finally go one-on-one when the enigmatic Ember Moon faces off with the double tough Ruby Riott. All that and more next week, right here on NXT.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall, and it is for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Here come the challengers for the NXT Tag Team titles, the team known as Heavy Machinery. All Night, Tucker Knight and Dozer Otis Dozovic. These two are two big bruisers.
You ain't joking. Typically, these guys are a bunch of fun-loving dudes, but tonight, I think it's going to be all business. We're going to see a different side of Heavy Machinery tonight.
We're going to need to do if they've got a shot against the Authors of Pain.
Led by the legendary Paul Ellering. It's the dominant NXT Tag Team Champions, the undefeated Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor. They won the 2016 Dusty Rhodes Classic. And then at NXT TakeOver San Antonio, they defeated DIY to become NXT Tag Team Champs. They haven't looked back since.
And with the size of these four men in the ring, this is undoubtedly the biggest NXT Tag Team Championship match in NXT history.
Baddest boys in the block, Authors of Pain, maybe trying to put some more names in the Book of Dominance, and those names are Otis and Tucker Knight.
Introducing first, the challengers. At a combined weight of 650 pounds, Tucker Knight, Otis Dozovic, Heavy Machinery! And their opponents, accompanied to the ring by Paul Ellering, at a combined weight of 615 pounds, they are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Akam, Razor, the Authors of Pain!
Over a half-ton of humanity in the ring.
The challengers with an affinity for stakes and weights. The champions, well, they have an affinity for pain and punishment.
Well, this is an unusual occurrence. The champions, 620 pounds, are actually giving up weight to Heavy Machinery, who weigh in a combined 650 pounds.
It will be all night, Tucker Knight.
Akam locking up to start things up here with Tucker Knight, looking for double unders.
So Akam and Knight getting things started in this NXT Tag Team Championship match. Waist locked by Knight. Oh, and Akam with the back elbow. He fires off a right hand to the girth, the body of Tucker Knight.
Tucker Knight trying to go for his amateur background there with a waist lock.
And Akam with a decorated amateur wrestling background of his own. He's a member. Oh, wow, what an elbow to Tucker Knight by Akam, who the tag is made, and in comes Razor, the bigger member of the Authors of Pain. And
okay, standoff here.
Otis Dozovic and Razor head to head. Oh, headbutt from Razor. Comes off the ropes and wow, tried to drop Dozovic with a lariat. Unable to budge him. And goes into built like a fireplug, that low center of gravity. From here, and Bourne, there it is.
For the first time in his NXT career, Razor knocked down.
Okay. And Heavy Machinery showing that they are here to be serious challengers for the NXT Tag Team titles. NXT Tag Team Championship on the line. The Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, against the challengers Heavy Machinery. And here's what went down during the break.
Double feature, one of the Authors of Pain pulled down the top rope. Tucker Knight spilling onto the outside.
Knight in hostile territory. Tag is made. In comes Razor. Akam and Razor with a double team on Tucker Knight. Covered by Razor, hooks a leg, and Knight able to kick out.
Even as big as Tucker Knight is, those knees by the Authors of Pain hurt. Man.
Cut off his breathing. Come on, Tucker. We gotta go. We gotta go. Heels in.
NXT Universe trying to will Tucker Knight back to his feet, but he's in the vice-like grip of Razor, of the Authors of Pain.
Come on, baby. Come on. Good Costco.
This perhaps may be a little early for Heavy Machinery to get a title opportunity. Relatively inexperienced, relatively new tag team. Against a team like the Authors of Pain, this is going to be a big test for them.
I agree, and you may be right, but if anybody can stack up, especially from a physical standpoint, from a size standpoint, against AOP, it's Heavy Machinery.
We saw that earlier in the match when Razor was dropped by Kosovic. And now it's Razor dropping bombs on Tucker Knight. Knight trying to get back up to his feet, but Razor unloads and lands a crushing right hand.
He's got to get to a vertical base. He's got to defend himself, keep his hands up.
The tag team continuity of the tag team champions, the Authors of Pain. Akam comes in with a kick.
1, 2, 3. Let's go. Grab that tag.
Knight desperately needs to make a tag to his partner, Otis Kosovic. Valiantly trying to fight back, and then a knee crashes into his skull, courtesy of Akam. Cover, crossface, and a 2 count.
This is the story of the Authors of Pain. They dominate their opponents, they cut the ring in half and keep their opponent in their half of the ring.
They keep the fresher man in, the quick tags. Each of them meeting out their own form of punishment on Tucker Knight, who's now in the grips of a rear face lock by Razor. Elbow by Knight.
Look at the fight by Tucker here.
Whoa, look at that.
Power. Oh! Double team by the Authors of Pain. Tag was made, and Akam with the 2 count.
Tucker Knight, 320 pounds and picked up like it was nothing.
And the onslaught continues, courtesy of the Authors of Pain. Another tag made. Razor steps in. Otis Dozovic desperately wants to make the tag. But Tucker Knight remains in another time zone as far as he's concerned.
Knight is glassy-eyed, exhausted.
Tucker's got to find a way to get Razor off of his feet.
Short knee strikes by Razor. Off the rope.
Oh, there it is!
And then an explosive clothesline by Tucker Knight that sends Razor off his feet.
Now if he can just find a way to get to his corner, get to his partner Otis, and make that tag.
Dozovic primed, ready to attack.
Huge moment right here.
Yes.
And Dozovic makes the tag.
Oh.
Ducks under the clothesline, comes off the ropes, runs right over Akam.
Wow, he hasn't stopped moving.
And Otis Dozovic taking it to the Authors of Pain. Overhead release, belly to belly suplex.
How impressive is Otis?
What an exhibit of his power. Corner avalanche by Dozovic.
Big boy control.
Send in the St. Bernards. And look at this power slam by Dozovic. And the double team body slam. Knight. Oh. And Akam able to just kick out, but the heavy machinery now.
They got to keep it going. This is the biggest match of their life. Tag Team Championship gold is on the line right now.
And now they're the ones doing the quick tags, Nigel.
Absolutely, and that's smart. Making Dozovic legal. Wait a second.
Oh! And Knight was cut off in the pass from the big boot, courtesy of Razor and Akam with a DDT. Authors of Pain, Akam just planted Dozovic.
Oh, got it.
Combination, side Russian leg sweep, clothesline, and that's it. Authors of Pain retain the gold.
Here are your winners, and still NXT Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain.
The last chapter, reaping dividends for the Authors of Pain, your NXT Tag Team Champions.
Let's take a look at how this went down. They had him up here for the compactor, but instead, in came Razor, and they turned it around. Like you said, Mo, last chapter, Russian leg sweep, clothesline combination. Dozovic down for the count. These guys going to have to go back to the drawing board.
And meanwhile, the Authors of Pain remain undefeated, led by the cerebral Paul Ellering.
That was a great effort by the heavy machinery, though. I mean, they're just a little bit inexperienced, and I believe in time, they will get the fight for the tag team title again.
Well, like they said, they were all business tonight, but it wasn't good enough to supplant the NXT Tag Team Champions. Which team will usurp the Authors of Pain?
Hold on.
SAnitY has made its presence known.
What is this?
What is it?
What is that?
What is that?
Could that be pieces of paper from the Authors of Pain's Book of Dominance?
No.
That looks like pages from a book.
Could Eric Young, the leader of SAnitY, be behind this? Wow. The mind games continue, courtesy of SAnitY.